Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2. The Reds kick off the brand new Premier League season and their title defence in the most perfect way possible. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be the instant match reaction to Liverpool's 4-2 victory over Bournemouth in what was an incredible 6-goal thriller. Goals from Hugo Ekitike, Cody Gakpo, Federico Chiesa and Mohammed Salah helped Liverpool towards a huge win in a game that was thoroughly entertaining, had its good moments, its bad moments, and unfortunately had an ugly moment which we will all address in this video, as it was an incredibly emotional night at Anfield, with obviously this being the first Premier League game since the unfortunate, tragic and heartbreaking passing of both Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva. We're going to be talking all about that in much more detail. We're going to be talking about the ugly side of what happened tonight as well, because it is very important that we address that. We'll talk about the bad side. We'll talk about the performance on the pitch as well. All of that kind of stuff and much more. Before we get into all of that, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And of course, I encourage you all to get involved in the comment section down below. Use and abuse that section, people. Talk to me on what you think about tonight's game, the overall game itself, the incidents that occurred in the game, the performances, the result, the new season, whatever it is. Just let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down there. Would make for great and interesting reading, so please do get involved. And without further ado, we're going to get on with the video. We're going to get on with the conversation. We're talking Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2. And for me, there's only one place to start, and that is, unfortunately, with the ugly side of what happened tonight. Look, we have to address it. We have to talk about it. I don't ever want to be talking about it, but we have to. No one does. No one wants this to be a thing in football or in society, because it has no room. There is no place for racism in either one of those two places. But unfortunately, tonight there was an alleged incident that took place. I'm not 100% sure on the details, whether it was one person or whether it was a group, but someone in the crowd aimed racial abuse at Antoine Semenyo. Semenyo made it clear to the referee what was going on, and the referee had to pause the game for a moment or two in order to address the situation to both benches at the time. First and foremost, big up to Antoine Semenyo. Absolutely incredible performance to come off the back of what happened, and to put in the second half performance that he did shows a real strength of character. And he's an awesome footballer anyway, but I also imagine he's an even better human being. So big up to him. It seems absolutely awesome. And like I say, he put in one hell of a performance off the back of that horrible incident. And secondly, obviously we support him, we back him up, because like I say, racism has no room in society, in football, and yet it was there on display tonight. And I can't believe that in the year 2025 we still have issues like this. We still have moments like this, and we're still talking about this issue. It's still bizarre to me, and it's still maddening to me. But yet here we are with it. So the hope is that the thorough investigation process will go through, and Liverpool will work with the authorities on this, and the authorities will handle it. And the hope is that the person or people that are the culprits in this situation are therefore punished appropriately. Hopefully it's something like lifetime bans, nowhere near the stadium, because we don't want that. And let's face it, if they are doing that, then they're not fans in general. It's absolutely ridiculous, absolutely stupid. What took place tonight. But like I say, big up to Antoine Semenyo, absolute king, Antoine Semenyo. And like I say, away from what he faced tonight, he also put in a absolute terrific performance as well. He was brilliant in that second half, and I can't take anything away from him. I think from a Liverpool perspective, it's annoying that we went 2 goals up in order to get paid back to 2-2, and did look for a while like we were a little bit on the ropes at times, but we managed to hold it together towards the end, and it was a forgotten man of sorts that helped us get through it. But before we get into the good, which was some of the performance and obviously the result, We talked about the ugly, now we need to talk about the bad. And we need to address this referee VAR situation that took place in the game. It'll probably get swept a little bit under the carpet tonight because the result did go in Liverpool's favour. But, in my opinion, there was a handball incident that was deliberate. That was controversial. That could have resulted in a Bournemouth player getting sent off. Now, he is the last man. He is in a position where if he doesn't make contact with the ball, then Ekitike is likely through on goal. I honestly cannot believe the referee has not given that as not only a free kick to Liverpool, but a sending off as well. And don't get me wrong, right? I've said time and time again, referees miss stuff in the moment all the time, and you can somewhat forgive that. But when you've got the safety net of VAR behind you, how is VAR not interfering there? We've had a whole summer of not talking about VAR. It's been nice. It's been lovely. We haven't had VAR controversies or grievances. And then all of a sudden it takes 14 minutes. 14 minutes. 14 minutes of the Premier League season returning for VAR to take centre stage, to take the spotlight again. 14 minutes. It's bizarre to me. Like, it bounces onto his thigh, onto then his arm, which is raised, and then he makes a swipe at the ball and manages to get a second touch on it with his hand. And yet the referee, nor the VAR in that situation, decides to look at it and go, I think he's deliberately handballed that, you know. I found it bizarre. I found it bizarre at the time. I'm still struggling to understand what the hell was going on. It doesn't make sense to me. It really, really didn't make sense to me at all. Very surprised that the VAR did not interfere. And then again, at the same time, I'm not surprised because it just shows you that no matter how much time they had away from the game to sort of, you know, look back over their performances of last season, see where things went wrong, see where they could improve. They've decided to come back with the same attitude, the same style, the same refereeing displays of last campaign already. Like I say, it took 14 minutes for us to have our first VAR controversy of the season in absolutely unbelievable circumstances, in my opinion. But now that we talked about the ugly side and, you know, we talked about that, we talked about the bad side, let's talk about the good, shall we? Let's talk about the result and some of the performance of Liverpool. Because, again, there was the good, the bad, and the ugly of the Liverpool performance overall. I thought there were some really good standout performances today. I thought Hugo Ekitike was absolutely unplayable and unreal. Obviously, in his game, I know that he got substituted midway through the second half, but I thought he was absolutely brilliant today. Everything, I'm liking this guy more and more the more that I see him. Like I said when we signed him, I'm not exactly a religious fan of the Bundesliga or Frankfurt, but there was clearly something with this guy in the little bits that I did see of him play. And now that I'm seeing him more regularly, I saw him in the Community Shield, and you know there was some good and positive signs there. But tonight he was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. It's just the way that he moves, how mobile he is, his work rate, his energy, his physicality, everything's not, it's not perfect, but you wouldn't expect it to be perfect, but it is very good and it is very effective when it does work. Like I say, he's trying to stretch the defence with his movement. He's dropping deep to try and receive the ball, but he's also smart enough to realise, like, okay, this is when I drop back, but this is when I try and look to spin off and go in behind the defence and try and exploit the space in behind. This is where I pull off to the left. This is where I pull out to the right. You know, things like that to try and stretch the defence, create space for others elsewhere. He is so good at doing that. Some of his link-up play tonight was very, very good. There was one moment in the second half where he just shows this lovely little back heel to Florian Wirtz. Like, he's getting better each and every single time, and the goal he scored was beautifully well taken. We've been crying out for a striker for so long who's got the calmness and the composure that this guy showed tonight. And like I say, he gets a bit of good fortune with the way that, his first and second touch kind of fall into his path a little bit, so he's through on goal. But there's no denying that once he put the ball into the back of the net, the composure shown there was very, very good indeed. So fair play to Hugo Ekitike. Like I say, he had a fantastic game in general for Liverpool. Another player who I thought did very well was Florian Wirtz. Now, he may go a little bit under the radar, and people might, from rival fans' perspective, say, well, what did he do? Well, we know how good he is with the ball at his feet, but you know what's also very, very good about him that I've raved about all summer? Him off the ball. His work rate tonight was unbelievable. He covered so much ground. He pressed really, really well in key positions to try and win us the ball back in advanced areas. Florian Wirtz tonight was brilliant. I thought Jeremy Frimpong played very well until he was taken off, and you could clearly tell that once he was off, that kind of gave Bournemouth a bit of an incentive to attack down that right-hand side a bit more. Down our right-hand side, their left-hand side a bit more. I felt everyone was solid enough other than that, with the exceptions of maybe Konate and Kirkez. Those two did worry me at times throughout the night. They're the only two real concerns. I thought Kirkez had a bit of a shocker of a first half, in all honesty, capped off with the way that he got booked in that half. I was a bit surprised that we didn't see Andy Robertson at half time earlier than what he actually did make his appearance at. And I say Konate for me as well had a few questionable moments throughout the entirety of the game, but no, overall, I thought there were some good performances to some average ones, and one or two exceptional ones from the likes of Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike, our two new debutants. Ekitike gets his goal 5 minutes into the second half. Cody Gakpo gets his lovely, well-taken goal. Very composed finish again. Lovely control and composure to take it in from the left-hand side onto his right foot. Beat one player, beat a second player, and then just smashes it into the bottom corner. Very well-taken goal. Then it's the Semenyo show from there on out, in which he does absolutely fantastic well. Like, the first goal he scores, again, it comes from Liverpool being a bit casual in the middle of the pitch. Soberslai's little flick doesn't pay off. One ball down the left wing. There's no Frimpong there, so there's no pace down that side. There's only Wataru Endo, who's not going to beat David Brooks to that. And Brooks puts in a very good cross, to be fair to him. And Semenyo just drifts in from that right-hand side, not being picked up by Andy Robertson at all, and manages to put the ball beyond Alisson Becker. And then the second goal, again, brilliant display from Semenyo. He just runs the length of the pitch. No challenge, nothing. Slaloms his way onto his left foot and smashes it into the bottom corner. Brilliant from Semenyo. And you're thinking from there on out that the tails are up of Bournemouth. They've got the momentum. They could actually go on and win the game. But Liverpool held in there, and 6 or 7 minutes or so after coming on as a substitute, the forgotten man, Federico Chiesa, manages to put Liverpool back in front. A crossing from Mo Salah causes all sorts of danger and confusion. It's not properly dealt with by the Bournemouth defence, and the ball kindly falls for Chiesa, who smashes it home from close range. And then to kill the game off, it's a long, hopeful clearance, I guess you could say, from Liverpool. Seems like it's going to fall into the path of a Bournemouth defender. He's very casual about the way that he's approaching the ball, but Mo Salah is on him in a flash, runs from right to left and manages to steal the ball, and then with composure himself manages to work the ball onto his right foot, and with his weaker foot, with all due respect, manages to finish very well into the bottom corner to not only secure the victory for Liverpool, but to obviously get his Premier League goal-scoring account up and running for the brand new season. And what was not exactly the best of performances yet again from Mohammed Salah, but he gets a goal to mask over that performance. Look, I'm happy. At the end of the day, I am very, very happy with the result and some of the performance. Like, it wasn't perfect, it wasn't spectacular by any stretch of the imagination, but the overall performance some of the performance was very, very good. Like I say, a lot of positive signs, a lot of positive energy, a lot of positive influence and thoughts and ideas that are going into it that you think that maybe we're a little bit more time to work on the training pitch, and obviously to gel these new players in, it will click properly. It will start to gel properly. There was some nice little bits of play again and some build up. There are still some things to iron out, weaknesses, transitional wise and things like that on the counter that we need to sort out, and you can clearly tell that certain areas depth wise we are kind of struggling in. It was good to see Joe Gomez get some minutes. Fingers crossed his injury issues are behind him. But yeah, there are some issues. Like I say, the pace of Frimpong, especially for both goals, was definitely a miss in that situation. So fingers crossed we do get something in the remaining days of this transfer window. Hopefully we get a couple of players in to obviously cover for the certain weaknesses that we have. Obviously over time I'm hoping that those defensive weaknesses do iron themselves out, and you know, the more and more that these players in the attacking third click, the more that I hope that the interchange and the play and the fluidity continues to grow and continues to evolve with Liverpool. Obviously, you add certain other players to the potential mix there. You've got one hell of a team on your hands. So, the good, the bad, and of course the ugly that we had to address tonight in terms of the overall game. But in terms of the Liverpool performance, again, there was a bit of good mixed with a bit of bad mixed with some ugly stuff as well. But overall, I'm happy we got the win, and that's the main thing that we can hope for in terms of kicking off our title defence in the best possible way. And of course, it was an incredibly emotional night with obviously the tributes to Diogo Jota, the first Premier League game, should I say, since his heartbreaking passing this past summer. The tributes seemed to be amazing in the crowd and everything. It looked like it was such lovely tributes and gestures towards him. Some great banners and flags in the stands as well. So very emotional night. Kind of tainted by an idiot in the crowd who was allegedly being racist towards Antoine Semenyo. But yeah, it someone has to ruin it for everybody, doesn't it? Like, it was a fantastic game of football, a 6-goal thriller. It was an emotional night, and yet it's somewhat ruined by that moment. And fingers crossed, like I say, that the right process is taken and the right punishment is dished out. Anyway, these are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever they call it, of this, guys. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of tonight's performance, result, game, and season ahead for Liverpool Football Club, or for anyone else for that matter? Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you like, and on your way out, subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. And I'll see you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. Speak to you all again very, very soon.